Hello everyone, welcome to HobbyEXP. My name is Cheston, and you're probably wondering, what's with all the blank screen here? Well, let me show you shortly. But I recently attended an event that allowed me to see some cool upcoming new products. And one of those products I took a particular fancy in, and I'm going to share with you today. So without further ado, bonk, it's riftbound! So what's riftbound, you ask? What is this? Why am I excited for this? Well, Riftbound is the League of Legends trading card game, and I'm sure everyone has heard of League of Legends in some shape or form. You've got, the League of Legends MOBA game. You've got Teamfight Tactics, Legends of Runeterra. They also have Valorant on the Riot Games sort of Steam-esque library. And obviously Arcane, the TV series that did exceptionally well, and now they've decided to step into the TCG forum. So, I was fortunate enough to get not one, but two trial decks. Now you're probably wondering, what makes you so excited? What's different about this TCG? And it's very valid questions. So, each deck is 40 cards, or at least that's what these trial decks are. There are 12 resources, so there's like a dedicated resource deck similar to what we have for One Piece and Gundam. There is a dedicated champion here, and you have like a representation of the champion in the actual game. So and the champion is important because just like One Piece, it dictates the colors that you can use. So here we have Viktor is blue and yellow. Volibear is red and orange. I'm sure they have names. I unfortunately don't know what they are. There were actually two other structure decks, if I'm not trial decks, if I'm not mistaken. Those were the Yasuo, I think his name is. Sorry, it's been a really really long time since I played League of Legends. I'm actually more familiar with Arcane at this point in time. To be honest with you, it was a great show. Loved it. I think it was really exciting, really fun, and a different storytelling by comparison, because you play League a lot of the time and you don't really know the characters, the backstories, or any of the history, and I thought Arcane was a really good way to just show everyone what it was about. So, without further ado, I'm going to open these up, and I'd like you to come on the journey with me. So I have, full disclosure, I have played with these decks, but I wanted to show you what's in them and give you a bit of a rundown of how this game works. So, quickly how this game works. You see these 8 here? You need to get to 8 points to win the game, and you get to win the game by conquering locations. So what does that mean? So you have resources. You play 2 resources every turn. If it's the first turn as a second player, you get 3. Your discard pile, your deck. When you play a unit, they're playing tapped or horizontally. They play it here, and there's usually a location here and one from your opponent. And at the start of the game, there's 3 locations from each of you. You randomly choose one from each, pop it here. When you move a unit that is active or vertical after they spend a turn being horizontal, they go to location. Once they go to location and no one's there, they conquer it, which means you get a point. If you are still on that same location at the start of your next turn, and there's no one else there, you're uncontested, you get another point. So similar to Lorcana, you've got locations, you're playing units there, trying to take control of it because you get certain buffs out of it. The locations have, as you can probably imply, have certain buffs. It is 8 rather than, I believe Lorcana is 20, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, it's been a little while since I've played. And there's a multiplayer format, so free for alls where you have 3 players, your traditional 1v1s, and of course the ever so popular battle royale commander kind of format where there's 4 of you. So, and they all play very very similar sort of rules, but it changes very very niche sort of thing. So without further ado, I'm going to take a look at Viktor first, because that's actually the deck that I played on the day. So let's do this. So like I said, I've gone through the deck, I've seen what it is, but I wanted to share with you guys, and I've sort of rearranged it in a way And you can see here, so let me zoom in this on this for you. Alrighty, so what do we have here? Herald of the Arcane. So I need to get my terminology correct. See this little symbol here? That's legend, and that's the legend symbol over here. So this is your commander, this is your leader in One Piece, or however you want to put it, and that dictates the color of your cards. So this is, what do we have here? We got 1, tap it, play 1 power recruit unit token, okay? So as you can see here, we already see that Viktor is a go wide sort of strategy, swarming the board, and you play a lot of 1/1s, tokens, and try to control them that way. Okay, now we have the champion unit, Viktor, leader. When another non-recruit unit you control dies, play 1 recruit unit token into your base. So again, very similar, going on with the theme of what we were talking about before. He wants to go wide and play out a lot of units. So you get, this is the one that belongs here in this section of the deck. In this section of the mat. There's also one in your deck itself. Oh, and here we have the recruits. So as you can see, a token unit recruit. We are the future, power of 1. So unlike Gundam, where there's power and toughness and there's sticky damage, this is more akin to a mix of One Piece and Magic, where One Piece has 1 attack value, and being in the thousands or whatever, and Magic, it allow your units heal between rounds. So unless you take out my unit completely, it's going to heal and it's going to come back to full health again. Okay, so we get a bountiful bunch of tokens. Here we go. So these are locations I was talking to you about before. Okay, so let's go through them. The Grand Plaza. When you hold here, if you have 7+ units here, you win the game. Okay, alternate win condition. I do like the fact that it's printed down here and at the top here, allows for easy reading for you and your opponent. That's one location we get here. Alter to Unity. When you hold here, play 1 recruit unit in your base. Pretty good, pretty good. And Trifarian War Camp. Units have +1 damage. This includes attackers. Oh, so this is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. People are clearly fighting one another, and both you and your opponent get the bonus for it if you're defending it. And yeah. I should probably mention, there are some key texts and key rules. I can't go through every single one of them in this video because that's going to take way too long. And I think we're just going to go through each card as it is. There are some key rules like ganking, reaction, which is, always, as you can probably surmise, reactions and actions are playing like spells at any point in time, like instance in Magic, counters in One Piece, and actions, actually, in Gundam. And there's equipment, artifacts, which give you a certain boost. What else we have here? Ganking is, normally you'd have to go back to your base and then out to a location again. However, ganking, you can go from location to location, so it's very quick, very smooth. So obviously ganking, they're taking obviously very key terminology from the League of Legends game and try to immerse it into here. So here we have the Order Rune. So as I said before, Viktor has 2 colors, or 2 runes, again adding to the flavor of League of Legends. So you get 6 of these. The Mine Rune, get 6 of these. Yeah, alrighty. So let me go through the card as it is. So this is the cost of the card. So you would tap 4 of your runes. So the channel, you channel a rune, which is you get 2 every turn, and then you rest 4 of them, turn them sideways, play out the character. Now you're probably wondering, what does this symbol mean? This is a recycle. Basically, you need to take any rune that is that symbol, so in this case the mind, order, dang it, it was close, order rune, put at the bottom of your deck. Now you can put an untapped or a tapped one, sorry, I'm going to use Magic terminology because that's what I'm most familiar with, and pop it on the bottom of your deck. Now this is the attack, as I was talking about before. This is the champion unit, Viktor, and explaining what the character is and what this card does. And yeah, and I believe this is the rarity, right? So a gold mythic, perhaps, sort of thing. So we get a few of them actually in the deck. Alright, so here we have our first unit. So Piltover, I can already see that this is gonna be some sort of a class and or I guess if you want to put in magic terms like the grouping, typing, subclass, whatever you want to call it, Piltover. Faithful Manufacturer. When you play me, play 1 recruit unit token here. So it's pretty nice. Again, going with it is the go wide strategy. Machine Evangel. Death Knell. Play 3 recruit unit tokens into your base. When I die, get the effect. Okay, again, one of those keywords that I was talking about before. Siphon Power. So again, a new keyword. Reaction. Play anytime, even before spells and abilities. Choose a battlefield. Give friendly units their +1 this turn, and units get -1 this turn to a minimum of 1. So this is great. A signature spell. New little type here. A few of those. So this is one of those equipments that I was telling you about, or gear, and it costs 0. Seal of Unity. Tap it. Reaction. Add this. Abilities that add resources can't be reacted to. So you're probably wondering, what does this do? Is this ramp? It is kind of ramp. As I was saying before, certain cards tuck your resources back underneath your resource deck, and this just allows you to subsidize the cost by tapping this. Hidden Blade. Hidden. Hide now for any color you want to react later with a cost of 0. Action. Play on your turn or in showdown. So showdowns is when you are fighting your opponent or defending from an attack from your opponent. Kill a unit at a battlefield. A controller draws 2. So this feels like a really efficient removal spell. Drawing 2 from it. Similar reminds me to Arcane Denial from Magic. You counter a spell, the spell's controller draws 2 cards. But yeah, I think solid removal like this against the gentleman that I was playing, Aaron from Deck.Gaming. Big shout out to Deck.Gaming. Volibear tends to play a lot of big units, so this was just a really fair trade. Really fair trade for me, probably unfair for him, and allowed me to remove some of his bigger units without having much trouble at all. Hit a couple of those. Cruel Patron. As additional cost to play me, kill a friendly unit. Now you're probably wondering, seems like a bad trade. 4 for 6, but if we look at our leader, right? When another non-recruit unit control token dies, a non-recruit unit you control dies, play 1 recruit unit token into your base. So again, more synergy, and 4 for 6. It's a beefy unit. Oh, here we go. Harness Dragon. Looks like one of our bigger units. When you play me, kill an enemy unit. Again, really solid removal spell. 6 attack, but you're bottom decking 2 of those auto resources. So again, I think it's very difficult for me to understand how the game's going to be playing out. We haven't seen the full entire card pool yet, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. I'm kind of jumping on board this train quite late into the piece. But what intrigued me most about this game is that there are the way that the gentleman described it, there are summer skirmishes. So not only do you have local events, this is like a special, unique local event in which if you do well in that, it actually gives you privileges for your regionals that you attend to. So if you do really well in the summer skirmish, you get to have a round 1 bye at your regionals, which obviously your regionals lead to your nationals lead to your champs, and I just think that this game is very geared towards the competitive scene. Now, not everyone may like that. I think in the spirit of competition, League of Legends has always lent itself in that sort of fashion, and I think it really hits it on the nose. Now, does that mean that this game is going to be ultra competitive and super sweaty? Difficult to say. I think the game can be very fun. It clearly has a multiplayer aspect of it, and I find that TCGs are way more fun when you can play with your friends, or not just one, but a few of them. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe they'll have a competitive scene for multiplayer format. A 2v2 rather than a free-for-all, So, let's see. Anyway. Vanguard Captain. Legion. When you play me, play 2 recruit unit tokens here. Get the effect if you played another card this turn. Okay. So it's nice. They're giving you the keywords, but they're also explaining what it means. So again, go wide strategy. Stupefy reaction. Give a unit -1 to a minimum of 1. Draw 1 card. Again, really great card. It replaces itself. Useful effect. Yeah, not much to comment on there. Cull of the Week. Now this is definitely one of my favorite cards that I played the other day. Each player kills one of their units. Now you're thinking, oh, it's not that great. I had to kill one of my units, but I keep making tokens, and if my opponent has only one creature, one unit on board, this is great. They're forced to do it. Diabolic Edict from Magic the Gathering, any black removal spell, super strong, super strong. Unchecked Power. So there's like a nice full art here going. Exhaust all friendly units, then deal 12 damage to all units at battlefields. Whoa, crazy. So, battlefields. So if I had a whole bunch of unit tokens in my base, I tap them instead. Oh, but it's all friendly units. So it would have to be a situation where, it's the last bastion. You got a whole lot in your base. You haven't really had an opportunity to take the battlefields yet, and you want to deal as much damage as you can to your opponent and just wipe them out and have a bit of a swing back. Death Knell, when I die, get this effect. Again, combos really well with our previous Cruel Patron. So when this dies, you get to draw a card, and yeah. Grand Stratagem. Action. Play on your turn or in showdown. Okay, so reaction is purely... reaction is like an instant. Action is a sorcery. Give friendly units +5. Whoa! Huge buff for my units, for my tokens. They become 6. Wrath of Echoes. This first time a friendly unit dies each turn, draw a card. One of the boss monsters of this deck. And last but not least, Soaring Scout. Death Knell. Channel 1 rune exhausted. So, again, back to what we were talking about before. Channeling is adding a resource, a rune, to your rune deck. And normally it would be untapped. But this one, it's like a bit of a ram spell. When it dies, add a tapped rune or resource to your pool. So yeah, that is the Viktor deck. Let's dive into the Volibear deck. Now, like I said before, there were some other trial decks. I unfortunately did not get a hold of them. Would have really loved to review all of them, but hey, 2 decks are pretty sweet anyway. Now, I didn't get to see this deck. My colleague Aaron was playing this deck, so this is a close inspection for me. Without further ado, yeah, I think that's all of them. Cool. Alright, so we got the legend, Relentless Storm. When you play a mighty unit, you may exhaust me to channel 1 rune. Oh, okay. A mighty unit is a unit is mighty while it has 5+ power. So, this is clearly a ram deck. Play your big boys, control the board through them, and just win with overwhelming power. Seems very Volibear to me. Oh, here we go. We have 2 champion units. You get to pick which one you want. So I'm sure this has some sort of lore or representation with the League of Legends game. I unfortunately don't know what it is. So in the comments, please tell me what it is. And as always, like and subscribe. Here we have Shield 3, Tank. I must be assigned combat damage first. So when an opponent moves to a battlefield other than mine, draw a card. Oh, interesting. Okay, so card draw, bit of helps you protect your board sort of thing. Not bad. Deflect 2. Opponents must play 2 of any colored resource to choose me with a spell or ability. Okay, so very, very useful for my cheeky little control spells. And when I attack, deal 5 damage split among any number of enemy units here. Oh, this is a perfect counter to my tokens. But yeah, so one costs 10, one costs 12, slightly lower power, slightly higher one, and yeah, I'm guessing maybe this is how Volibear behaves in the game. He's a bit of a tank, but also can be a bit of a jungler, perhaps? Not sure. Not sure. I'm trying to figure out the theme that they're going on with here. So here we have the battlefields for Volibear. Void Gate, spells and abilities affecting units here each deal 1 bonus damage. Okay, so if the opponent isn't playing a spell heavy kind of deck, this works in your favor. When you conquer here, recycle one of your runes. Oh, so you bring back a rune. It's pretty cool. So maybe I used my recycle terminology incorrectly. Recycling brings back something from your trash. Oh, sorry, from your rune deck. At the start of each player's first beginning phase, that player channels 1 rune. Okay, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, recycle one of your runes. I might be wrong about this. Granted, I only played a handful of games, so I should probably check myself on that one. But this one seems pretty good. Everyone gets to ramp, and obviously Volibear wants to get to his big, stronger units faster than anyone else. So we got the body rune, and we have the fury rune. Seems very on theme for Volibear. So again, we're going back to the champion units we discussed before. Magma Worm. Whoa, 8 for 8. Other friendly units enter ready. Whoa, okay. So, normally, all your units enter in exhausted, but this, and they enter in ready, which means that they can go straight to a battlefield, ASAP. So this is great. It allows for more control on the board, but it does cost 8, and you do have to put one of your Fury runes underneath your deck. So, we'll see. We'll see if the trade-off is worthwhile. Legion Rearguard, accelerate. You may pay 1 Fury, 1 and a Fury as an additional cost to have me run to edit ready. Oh, so it's kind of like haste with cost. Carnivorous Snapvine. When you play me, choose an enemy unit at a battlefield. We deal damage equal to our might to each other. So it's kind of like a fight mechanic, a brawl mechanic from Magic the Gathering. Misfortune, ooh, a popular character. I'm sure people will love to see this, and of course Jinx and some of the other female characters, and I'm sure people are quite fond of. Accelerate, so we got the haste again. Ganking, see, I can move from battlefield to battlefield. That's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. The first time I move each turn, you may ready something else that's exhausted. Oh, see, that's again... It seems like this deck wants to be able to accelerate, go quickly, so that you can, if I've got an exhausted unit, I can put it somewhere else and try and control the battlefield through sheer brute force. Tryndamere, ooh, bit of spin to win. When I conquer after an attack, if you assign 5 or more excess damage to enemy units, you score 1 point. Okay, a trample-esque sort of type thing. Again, this fire Fjord. I'm probably butchering that pronunciation. I'm so sorry, but yeah, it seems to be another type. Cadragon the Infernal. When you play me, draw one for each of your might units. Okay. Again, Beastmaster Wild Speaker. I'm thinking of a Garuk card where you draw for however many of X things you have. Blazing Scorcher just has haste, 5 for 5. Whoa, no tucking cost. Okay, with a bit of haste. That's the cost you pay though. Okay, interesting. Channel 1 rune, exhausted. If you can't draw a card, okay. Bit of ramp, not bad. The other Volibear that we were talking about before. Dreadbloom Predator. Sorry, deflect. Opponents must pay 1 to choose me with spell ability, or its ward, basically, from Magic the Gathering. You may play me to an occupied enemy battlefield. Oh, okay. So you don't have to go from your base to your battlefield. You can go straight to a battlefield. Not bad. Stormbringer. Signature spell from Volibear. Choose a friendly unit in your base. Deal damage to its might to all enemy units at a battlefield, then move your unit there. It's pretty good. Disintegrate. Oh, it's any. Action. Deal 3 to a unit at a battlefield. If this kills it, draw a card. Not bad. removal spell. Catalyst of Aeons. Channel 2 runes exhausted. If you couldn't channel 2 runes this way, draw a card. Again, another ram spell, but instead you're channeling 2. So Volibear really wants to ramp to get to its bigger, mightier units. Challenge. Choose a friendly unit and an enemy unit. They deal damage equal to their might to each other. Again, a brawl fight spell from Magic. And last but not least, Stormclaw Ursine. Tank. I must be assigned combat damage first. When you play me, channel 1 rune exhausted. So there you have it. The general vibe from them, you got a go wide sort of strategy, and Volibear's is obviously a ramp / play big units. And yeah, I think this game will do very well. I think it'll have a very, very big competitive scene. I think the IP is pretty big. I know that across in other areas where it's released a little bit early, or at least in its like a beta testing sort of thing, there's been a lot of hype around it. It's a big IP. People want to give it a go, and yeah. Without further ado, thank you so much everyone for watching, and as always, like and subscribe. And if you have any comments about more things you want to see, perhaps we'll try some games out with this, let us know in the comments, and I'll catch you next time. Have a great one.